dive into Jessie's treasure trove, where every piece speaks mysteries. Jessie's oddities beckon. Get yours today.
Hey guys, it's Jessii Vee, and today you might be confused by the title of today's video. I know it's about ducks, okay? This might be the weirdest video topic I've ever done, because you might be like, Jessii, ducks are so cute, look at their little faces, they waddle around. No, this video is gonna change your opinion, okay? There are two creepypastas I'm going to be telling you, and they give me the heebie-jeebies. And so on this channel, no matter what the topic is, if they give me the heebie-jeebies, I'm telling it to you. So yes, today is about ducks, and that's okay. It's actually terrifying. I'm telling you, next time you see a duck, you know, on the side of the sidewalk, in a pond, wherever, you're gonna be like, I see you, and I know you're scary now because Jessii told me. Okay, before we get started though, we do have a handful of Easter mystery boxes left. They've gone so quickly. Thank you guys so much for your support. Don't forget there are 3 golden tickets hidden somewhere among them. And honestly, they are the coolest mystery boxes yet. The slimes in these boxes are probably my favorite thing. I did test them out. It's so cool how you can put like the boba pieces in there or sparkles in there and mix them up.
Zoom in.
Get right in there.
Enhance.
Get right in there. Look at that. Look at that. I also love the skincare products that we have in there, and they all come with either like bunny ears, bunny eye masks. This box is packed. So if you want one before they sell out, I have linked it down below for you. And of course, if you want your little buddy Jessie, we have linked her down below as well. I think my dog was slobbering on mine. Her hair's wet. Okay, so let's get right into today's video. Before I get into the creepypastas, let's just talk about like 3 creepy facts that I found out about ducks during this whole research thing I was doing. The first is that mating season for ducks is actually a brutal time. Ducks actually end up drowning each other very often, and some of them even lose their eyes because of how aggressive everything is, okay? So when it's duck mating season, I don't know when that is. I probably should have looked that up. Stay away from ponds, okay? Because it gets violent. Ducks have 3 times better vision than humans and have a nearly 360-degree view of the world around them because of where their eyes are placed on their head, okay? I always thought that ducks couldn't see well because their eyes, they have little beady eyes that like kind of sit awkwardly on their face, but they can actually see everywhere. Behind them, to the side of them, front, up, down, everywhere. Okay, so you can't like sneak up on a duck. They will know. And the last creepy fact is that sometimes ducks eat each other. And the article that I found this from said when they're bored, when they have nothing else to do, when they're literally bored, they might be like, hey, like Tommy looks delicious. And even though Tommy's also a duck, he gets eaten, which is terrifying. Okay, so let's get into this very first creepypasta. It is called They're So Cute, which sounds like an adorable title. You think this is gonna be an adorable story. It's not. This is about Jane, who was a very giving young girl. She lived by the river with her parents and brothers, and every morning she would step out onto the back deck and watch as a flock of ducks waddled up the emerald grass from the river right to her. She would stand there and throw bread to them and occasionally actually feed the younger ones with her hands, like hand feed them. The ducks were pretty ruthless though. They would all fight over the bread, and as soon as other ducks saw that they were being fed, more and more ducks would arrive and she would be completely surrounded, okay? She was the duck feeder. Every duck around knew who she was. Jane's mom seemed to be fine with her doing this every day, but her father thought they were wasting food. Bread was expensive and they were going through it very, very quickly. But Jane didn't listen to her father. She just wanted to feed the ducks all day long. She thought they were so cute. And the deck of their house would eventually be covered in poop every time she fed them, so her father would have to like go out with the hose and hose it down. So finally Jane's parents sat her down one day and they told her they were gonna stop buying bread for a while because it was becoming a very expensive hobby, and obviously their backyard and their deck was always a mess. By the way, I'm not wearing glasses right now, so I definitely cannot see what animal is on my driveway, but it looks like a duck. I just see a silhouette of a duck on my driveway looking through my studio window right at me. It could be a bird, but it's a very large bird and it looks like a duck. Imagine like I'm calling the ducks to my house just talking about them. I'm so scared. Okay, so Jane's parents said no more bread. So Jane started feeding the ducks with items around the house like ham, cheese, noodles, whatever she could find, she would feed the ducks with. And the flock had grown to about 20 ducks at this point. Jane just loved the ducks. She thought they were so cute, and her parents did not. So this time, her parents decided to lock the food away. They only made sure their kids had access to their 3 meals a day, which they would prepare and their children would eat, but they would not be able to go get food on their own without asking. So if they wanted a snack, they would have to ask mom and dad, and then they would open up the cupboard and give it to them. That really sucks. I'm imagining being a child in my parents' house and not being able to like get a snack for myself. So Jane cried and cried because she knew the ducks were hungry. Well, there was no food on that Sunday morning, so Jane held out her empty hand and fed the ducks. It was quite painful, the hard bills clamping down on her hand and then her arm, eating away at her flesh and pulling off her skin until she could see bone. But Jane didn't mind so much. She loved the ducks. She thought they were so cute. And that's the end of that one. So Jane loved the ducks so much that even when there was no more bread, no more food or snacks to give them, she offered herself. Imagine being that loyal to the ducks. I was just so disturbed by that story, especially because like when I was a kid and I used to go to the cottage and stuff, like we would feed the ducks and I was actually pretty afraid of them as a kid. I would make sure the bread piece I gave them was like this long because I didn't want my hand close to their beak, because sometimes like I would watch my grandfather do it and they would bite his fingers, like probably not on purpose, but it freaked me out so much. So I'm just imagining like her going outside and being like, here, you can have me if you can't have bread. I hate that. Okay, and the second story is called Being Followed. So this is from the point of view of a man being followed by a duck. Okay, sounds weird, just listen. There is a duck following me. It waddles and flaps and bobs as it walks behind me. As far as I've observed, it doesn't eat or drink. It occasionally sticks its bill into its feathers, perhaps to scratch an itch. The duck started following me this morning. I saw it when I walked out the front door of my apartment. It looked up at me, unimpressed, and then it followed me to my car. It tried to get in, but I nudged it out and shut the door. It stood behind my car, blocking my way out of my space. I was already 15 minutes late for work and finally just put my car in reverse and hoped the duck would leave. But when I arrived at my office, it hopped off the roof of the car and waddled in after me. No one else seemed to notice the duck at work, but there was a lot of commotion going on in the office. My boss was crying, as was the receptionist, and the company president stood in the corner of the cubicle, hand on his cheek, trying to put words together. And then Melissa from accounting waved me into her cube. And this is the conversation that he had with Melissa. Are you ready for this? Did you hear about Travis from billing? She whispered. What happened? I asked. Went on a rampage, killed his whole family and a handful of neighbors. Has he been caught? I asked. He's dead. He drowned in the pond near his house. You worked closely with him, right? I asked. Was there any sign he was close to having a breakdown? That's the odd thing. He seemed completely normal for the most part. The most part? Well, one day last week, I think he was joking. He said the oddest thing. What did he say? That a duck was following him. Strange, right? Strange, I said. So this person must be the next person to lose their mind? Because the duck is a sign? Is the duck doing it? Does the duck have like mind control? Like, I don't understand it, but it freaks me out, okay? I'm gonna look at ducks totally differently. Anyways, was this a really like unhinged topic to do on my channel? Let me know. If you like weird things like this, comment down below and just say, Jessii, keep doing these videos about random things, because I love it. Anyways, so guys, before I get going, just wanted to remind you one more time about the Easter mystery boxes. They are almost gone and they are the best box yet. They're filled with such cool items, so if you would like one, I have linked it down below, and watch out for ducks next time you see one. Maybe take a picture of it, tag me in it, and say, Jessii, I'm alive. The duck did not get me. Anyways, have a good rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Children lost, ensnared by a witch's binding spell. Jesseline, the awakened soul, yearns to escape and find a new home. Dare you join her and explore more?